Afternoon Fastcast, we have a lot of stories that we need to on. My name is Brittany Schmidt, and I'll be taking you through the stories that we're working on today, and a lot of developing at this hour. Just recently, we received a release from the Green Bay Police Department. They have identified this man, a 19-year-old Alejandro Morales of Black Creek, as the person who was found dead over the weekend in the 1900 block of North Irwin Avenue. The department says he was reported missing by family on Saturday and was later found deceased and lying outside in the snow in a business parking lot. Police said their initial investigation does not indicate foul play to be a factor in the cause of death. The Brown County Office of the Medical Examiner performed an autopsy on Monday, and additional testing is pending. Police, that is the most information police are releasing at this time. If you have any information about Morales, please contact the Green Bay Police Department. We are following other breaking news this afternoon out of Milwaukee. Let me pull that up here for you. The Milwaukee Bucks have fired their head coach, Adrian Griffin, this afternoon. The firing comes as the team has one of the best records in the NBA, but has struggled in many games to play defense. The assistant coach, Joe, is going to take over. He will be taking over as interim head coach for the time being. According to ESPN, Milwaukee is expected to target a small number of veteran head coaches who are available. Again, this is breaking this afternoon. Bucks fire head coach Adrian Griffin mid-season. This is his first season with the team. They're about halfway through, and now the assistant coach will be taking over. Now jumping over to a story that we have been following all morning, an update here on the shooting in Appleton. The DOJ is now investigating. A little bit of information that we've learned this afternoon. A person was shot by an Appleton police officer Tuesday night. They were pronounced dead at the hospital. The DOJ says police were responding to a report of shots fired inside Maritime Tavern on West Wisconsin Avenue just after 1:30 in the morning. Appleton police initially reported it to us as a weapons call or a weapons complaint. When police arrived, they were confronted by an armed subject who shot at law enforcement. That is what we're told from the DOJ. One officer did fire back. Life-saving efforts were attempted on the suspect, but they were pronounced dead soon after. Investigators have not released any information about the suspect. No police officers were hurt. The officer who did fire their weapon is on administrative leave, which is due to department policy and protocol. The Wisconsin Department of Justice Department of Criminal Investigation is taking over the investigation as an outside source. Another story we're following here in the Suamico area, a viewer sent this to us, Dave Frisk. This is fire crews responded to a massive fire over in the Suamico area. We're told it was a garage fire. Several vehicles were damaged. Authorities were there for about a half hour at least, putting out that fire. We're working to learn more, but this is the video that we received from one of our viewers. Again, fire crews responded to this fire this afternoon in the Suamico area. Dave Frisk sending us this video. Day 2 of the Gonzalez trial is underway in Door County. Anthony Gonzalez is accused of recklessly starting a fire in 2022 that killed 2 people, injuring others. Gonzalez said he was trying to fill a lighter with butane to light a cigarette when the fire started. The victims who testified today were all tenants that lived above Butch's bar. That's the bar that did burn down. Prosecutors asking each victim to describe what they could see as they escaped the smoke-filled building, while the defense questions if the building was up to fire code. Emily Byer there again for us today. She'll have much more for us later on in our newscasts. All right, let's get outside. I was looking at all of our cameras today, and this one seems to have the most activity out in Manitowoc. We'll bring in Keith now to tell us a little bit about what we're seeing out there. Hi, Keith.
Hey there, Brittany. Yeah, you picked the right camera there. It's a winter wonderland in Manitowoc right now, isn't it? Now, as we were forecasting for the last couple of days, the best chance for snow today was across our southeastern areas, and that's where we have the snow right now. As we go ahead and want to pop up First Alert Viper Max and show you that from Fond du Lac to Point Beach State Park, this is where we have a band of snow. You either have it or you don't. There's a pretty sharp cutoff. It couldn't make it to the Fox Valley or Green Bay. And this will be going away as we go throughout the next couple of hours. But some pretty good snowfall intensity right now. Thankfully, temperatures are at or above freezing. There is a little bit of slushy accumulation out there, but it could be a lot worse if it had been a little bit colder today. That system goes away this afternoon. There's more wet weather down to our southwest, and we'll see some of that over the next couple of days. Now, our temperatures right now in the low and mid 30s. I should mention this is the first time in 10 days, Brittany, that we have reached freezing. So It's been a 10-day deep freeze here, but we have improved things a little bit. Still a little bit of slippery spots here from Manitowoc to Sheboygan to Fond du Lac County where it has been snowing this afternoon, but by and large, it hasn't been too impactful. Just be on guard for some icy patches here for the rest of today, especially across the far southeast. And going into tonight and tomorrow morning, we will have some areas of dense fog that will develop around here, and it looks like we'll be around or slightly below freezing. So freezing fog is a possibility, and it just takes a little bit of that to grease up the highways, the bridges, the sidewalks. And depending on the temperature tonight in your location, you may either have just regular fog or fog that could freeze on some surfaces. And there's already a dense fog advisory that has been put out for the southern areas by the National Weather Service in Milwaukee. I do expect that to be expanded north at some point later on today. So by and large, we are looking at some quiet conditions now, but later on after the snow exits, we'll have some dense fog tonight and tomorrow morning. Brittany. So that's really the near-term threat here for tonight into tomorrow. Some fog, some of that could freeze up and create some more slippery spots for that Wednesday morning commute. Just keeping that severe weather outlook in the low category. So we'll get through this little bit of unsettled weather for the next couple of days. And just looking ahead real quick, it's going to be mild for the rest of this month into the early part of February. And how about this? We're in the 30s now. And some of our computer guidance is suggesting that we'll be pushing well into the 40s, maybe some 50s. Can't rule that out. We have a lot of snow on the ground. That's still kind of iffy. But the forecast guidance going into early February is just outlandishly warm. Probably not what you would expect or think, but it's a possibility as we are now out of the deep freeze, and it looks like we'll stay mild for quite some time.
Well, it would be nice to melt some of the snow melt and that ice that's already built up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to improve the roads a little bit. The snowpack will be shrinking. Folks that are involved with winter recreation will start sweating here, and also the folks associated with ice fishing and sturgeon spearing. Oh, man, it's going to be kind of dicey here with that getting ready in the middle of February. You know, the next week or two around here, not ideal for ice growth or new snow development to accumulate. So that's the latest from the Weather Center.
All right. Thanks so much, Keith. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'll check in with you later.
Sure.
All right. And speaking of that, talking about spear season coming up, I know that the DNR put out a warning today urging caution with these varying temps that Keith was talking about, that mixed precipitation. So please be cautious as well. Some of the other stories that we're working on this afternoon, I'll pull those up here for you. We've got a lot going on. So at 4 o'clock, I-41 expansion noise barriers meeting. So this is the Wisconsin DOT is going to hold a public input meeting tonight on noise barriers as part of the I-41 expansion project, where people in that area can come and learn about the barriers, what it would look like, where it would go, how much it would reduce sound in that area. So a lot going on there, and this is more for the community just to ask the DOT questions and get their answers so that they have an upcoming vote about whether or not some of these expansions should go into place. At 4:30, we are talking to Mark Stoyer about the Winter Dance Party. It's a historical concert where recreators perform as Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and what was their final concert before their death. This is the 25th year they've done this. So a little bit more about this, and we'll tell you when that Winter Dance Party is. At 5 o'clock, Jason Zimmerman is joining us for a preview of the State of the State address by Governor Tony Evers this evening. We are told that the governor is expected to focus on workforce challenges. We'll have much more for you tonight on that. And then at 6 o'clock, WBAY Cares. Stacey Engelbretson takes us to SAGE, an art advocacy nonprofit giving people a place to recreate for free. It's a place where artists can congregate and collaborate. So those are the stories that we are working on. Like I told you, we've got a lot going on today. So we'll be updating you on stories we've been following since Action 2 News this morning all the way through the afternoon. A lot of updates on some investigations that we've been following. We'll have much more for you on all of this tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Until then, we'll see you. Have a good one.